Welcome to Resting Binge Face, where two friends binge watch seasons of TV shows and we talk about it. I'm Adam McCoy.
And I'm Amanda Kathleen. Adam and I work in TV. We watch a lot of TV. If we were in a superhero group with 5 other people born in the same day, we would be in the TV Academy.
TV Academy. I want to go there.
All we do is watch TV. No special power is needed.
Nope. Although the ability to binge 3 seasons of a show in one setting is a pretty big power.
You need, stability power.
And we say that because it's comic book month.
It's comic book month.
Yeah, we're binging shows associated with comic books.
Yeah.
And we're starting off with the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah. Also, Endgame comes out this month, too.
Yeah,
so I feel like that's a good celebration of that.
Cannot wait.
All things superhero. So this episode, we are binging The Umbrella Academy Season 1. First season. Number 1.
Number 1.
They just announced they will have a second season.
Mm-hmm. They better after that ending.
I know, right? No, they're just going to leave you hanging.
Yeah.
So, Adam, do you have some knowledge to drop?
I do.
What?
And it started out with my daughter.
Really?
So we saw a trailer for this, The Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
He's like, oh, that's the guy, Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance. That's his show. I'm like, what?
What?
Huh? She's like, yeah, he did this comic book series. So
she's in the know.
She's in the know.
Yeah.
When it comes to My Chemical Romance, apparently, at least.
I just want to say that they came out when I was in high school, and I guess they're still going strong. Because
no, they're no longer. He's no longer in the band.
I know, but I meant like their influence.
Yeah, they're still
very strong.
She's
not even in high school yet.
Nope, at least with my daughter they are. So, yes, it was created by Gerard Way in 2007. He created this comic book series.
Mm-hmm.
It's illustrated by Gabriel Ba.
Ba?
B-A with an accent over it, that's all. B-A.
Be.
Be. Be. Be.
Meh.
Be. All right. So it was released by Dark Horse Comics in 2007. And it actually won an Eisner Award for Best Limited Series Comic.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of cool in
That's
2008. Cool. And then it was in 2011 they were going to develop it as a film for Universal Pictures.
Oh.
But then they shelved it and said, no, we're going to work on it for television in 2015. And then it ended up Netflix greenlit it in 2017. Became a Netflix show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's filmed in Toronto, Canada.
Canada.
Yeah. So after hearing this, Gerard Way, I'm like, oh, what else is he doing? So he actually, another show we're going to be watching this month, he actually wrote for the Doom Patrol comic book series for DC. So it's like a double whammy
Dang, Gerard
for
Way.
us this month. So he's really getting into it. And if you watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, if you've seen that film, or if you know, he created the character Penny Parker, who's the girl who's in the spider suit.
Really?
He created that character.
That's awesome.
So he's really into comics.
He's all over the place.
He's all over the place. He's currently working on a comic book about cats as students in high school.
Cat students in high school?
Yeah.
There's an anime called My Roommate is a Cat. I haven't watched it yet, but it looks like it's interesting. Cats go great.
Everybody loves cats.
Yeah.
The internet especially loves the cats.
Can't go wrong with cats.
So yes, you mentioned earlier it's already been picked up for a second season.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix reported that in its first month of release, the show actually had 45 million households watching the show in 1 month. So it's a pretty big hit.
Yeah.
So far.
I like the underrated hits. Those are
good.
Like Stranger Things was like that when they first came out.
Yeah, it just exploded.
Yeah.
We're not gonna compare it to Stranger Things right now, but yeah, I see what you're saying. It was kind of out of nowhere.
Right.
Not a lot of hype beforehand.
Right.
And then it got released. That's kind of how the show was created. A couple little facts if you've seen the show already. There's some differences. Actually in the comic books, Space Boy, Luther, is actually twins with number 5.
Oh.
They're actually twins in real life. They find that out later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, they could find it
they
out
might bring
later.
it out later, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
And then Hargreaves, the father, is an alien, which I guess they kind of alluded to in the show.
Oh, cool. Well,
which kind of explains. I was confused, but after reading that, I'm like, oh, okay.
That makes more sense.
He's an alien.
I thought about it when we'll talk about it when we get to that scene, but
they didn't mention it
now
in
that
the
you
TV show.
described it.
Like he's known to be an alien. He comes to Earth. He wins a Nobel Prize because he works in neuro things, and he's the one who develops the method to let apes and chimpanzees communicate with people. That's all because of him.
Got it.
And in the comic book series, that's commonplace. Robots are running around. Apes are talking to people.
It's just common.
Yeah, it's just commonplace. It's a little different than the TV show.
It is, yeah.
Because, I mean, there's only one in the TV show. And in the comic books, Luther actually has the actual body of a space ape. His head was transplanted to the body. It wasn't a serum.
I see.
So that's one of the lots of other differences. When you go back and look, there's a lot of differences. The comic book's really interesting. I'm really interested to watch to read the comic. Yeah, because it's got some different themes to it.
Right.
I'm not saying I don't like what they did to the show. It's an interesting show.
I mean, they probably did it for a reason.
Yeah, but it's got a lot of elements that seem pretty interesting in the comic book.
Right.
Yeah, so that's some of the facts that are about the Umbrella Academy.
You done dropping knowledge on it?
I'm done, I think. Yep, done.
Done. I'm done. Great. This is your spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the Umbrella Academy Season 1, we're going to talk about it. So you should probably hit pause, go watch it, and then come back and listen to us talk about it. Mm-hmm. If you're not interested in it at all and you just want to hear what's up about it, you can hang on. That's cool. But why? Why deprive yourself of a good show? Yeah,
watch the show.
Yeah, just do it. Okay. Spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1, and Umbrella Academy Season 1. So it starts off in 1989 where you just see some young girl hanging out with a dude at the pool. Mm-hmm. I think they're in Russia.
Yeah.
They're talking Russian. Speaking Russian? I don't know.
Speaking Russian.
And
kind of flirting with each other.
They're kind of flirting. And then he goes to give her a kiss, and she's like, no. And then the woman in charge is like, hey, no funny business. And then she kisses him on the cheek and then dives in the pool. And then immediately pops up pregnant.
What? Yeah.
And then gives birth. And then it explains.
And kids, that's how you get pregnant. Don't kiss each other.
Don't kiss each other and jump in a pool. That's how you get pregnant.
That's how you get pregnant.
Stay abstinent. Abstinent forever. Anyways.
So, yeah, this worldwide phenomenon's going on. Women are giving birth who were not pregnant.
Right.
And 43 people were born on the same day from this weird phenomenon that happened. And this weird guy is like,
Reginald Hargreaves.
I'm going to adopt as many of these kids as I can because this means something and it is important. So Mr. Eccentric Monopoly Man goes around and adopts as many as he can, and he only gets 7.
He gets 7 of them. That's pretty good, though. Yeah. 7 is like unwanted pregnancy type things. So there's 7 kids. So there's number 1 is Luther. He's the strong guy.
Mm-hmm. Super strong.
Super strong. Number 2 is Diego. He is an accurate knife thrower. Yes. Very accurate.
His name is the Kraken in the comic books.
The Kraken.
Yeah. They all have nicknames. I'll give them to you when you mention who they are.
So their dad, Hargreaves, calls them nut by the numbers.
Yeah, not their names.
Right. Mm-hmm. So you get both names watching the show. So number 3 is Allison.
The Rumor.
Number 4 is Klaus.
The Seance.
Number 5 is number 5.
Yeah, they don't even give a name.
It's just number 5.
The Boy is what they call him in the comic besides number 5. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, no name for him.
Number 6 is Ben.
The Horror.
And number 7 is Vanya.
The White Violin.
But
which
you
makes
find out
sense
about
at the end,
later.
But I guess that's her name the entire time.
So Vanya doesn't have any powers, you find out.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 6 are part of a group called the Umbrella Academy. And they go and they fight crime as kids. Get
a nice tattoo on their forearm. Mm-hmm. Great role model dad.
Right. And they have a mom that's a robot. And they have a butler who's a monkey. His name is Pongo.
Pongo. I like Pongo.
Pongo's cool. And slowly you find out that, like, the Umbrella Academy, as they got older, kind of disassembled. Mm-hmm. Ben died. You don't know how. You just know that he died. Mm-hmm. Number 5 went missing. And the only one left was Luther. And he sent him to the moon to go hang out after an accident happened where he almost died. And he had to inject him with monkey serum to save his life.
Yeah, and then he grew an ape body. But his head is perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, he gets like a weird scruff.
Yeah, he gets some facial hair.
So Hargreaves dies, and they all have to come together. And that kicks off a series of events where number 5 was missing because he traveled through time, and then he came back. And then he tells everyone the apocalypse is happening in 7 days.
He traveled to the future like the day after the apocalypse.
Literally.
And then he's like, shit. So then he had to live his entire life. He lived like another 45 years by himself in the future until he figured out how to come back to tell these people that, oh, wait, the world's going to end. We got to stop it.
Right. And then you find out that he was working for this company called the Commission, where they're based in the 1950s, but they're time police. So they make sure that everything happens how it should be. And if something's not going to happen right, they go and they kill the people that don't make it correct.
Which is funny to me as a concept. Because unless there is another organization that is trying to fight this,
right?
Why do they have to keep doing things?
Well, they have to keep it in order because I guess...
But it shouldn't have already all happened.
Right. But my question is like, is time that special where, like, if something doesn't go right, it's going to fix the time? Like, do they just don't want multiple timelines? Is that what's happening? Do they just want the one timeline?
I'm confused because it's already happened once.
Right.
How do they have to keep going back to make sure the Hindenburg goes down? What stopped it from going down? What's changed in the past? So I'm assuming maybe there's some rogue other people who can time travel who's going around trying to change this stuff. So maybe one of the other 43 children, his ability had time travel, and they're trying to stop these events. I don't know.
That's a bold statement,
Just
Anna.
saying.
I mean...
I'm nothing if not bold.
I'm just saying, this is a world that's created. It's not our world. Like, just let it be. Don't think about it too much. Your head will explode. So he goes back through time, and he knows he has to stop the apocalypse from happening. And so the Commission sends 2 of their time police... Time
Cop, Van Damme. Oh, no.
Not really. They're like time assassins.
Mary J. Blige in Time Cop 2.
It's Time Assassin.
Time Assassin, yes.
Time Assassins, Mary J. Blige. And then the other guy. Mary J. Blige is Cha-Cha. Mm-hmm. And the other guy is Hazel.
And
you'll know him from Mindhunter. If
yes.
you watch Mindhunter, he's the serial killer that they interview a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm. Apparently Mary J. Blige was kind of intimidated when she found out who he was. Like, after watching the show, she's like, I got to work with him, but I got to be the one in charge, and he's a serial killer.
Right.
So that was kind of funny.
It's very interesting because they're talking about bureaucracy. It's like a, terrible job, whatever.
Yeah, it's just a normal job.
It's just a normal job where they kill people.
Yeah, health benefits and what it's not covered and how bad it is.
Right.
Yeah.
They send those 2 back to eliminate number 5 to help not stop the apocalypse.
Yes.
Because the apocalypse has to happen.
For some reason.
In this timeline, this apocalypse has to happen. Mm-hmm. So you find out little things here and there, like Luther and Allison dig each other. Allison is a superstar.
Yeah.
Movie actress. She has a daughter and a husband who is separated from her because she used her rumor's power to, like, make her kids shut up and go to bed.
All right. I'm going to call bull crap on that one. I don't care who you are. That husband would be totally fine with her doing that.
Right?
To get your kid to go to sleep.
I mean, like
it wasn't any
innocent,
harm.
Right. So her power is she would say, rumor has it, and, like,
I heard
tell
a
them
rumor
what to do.
that you're tired and you're going to go to sleep. Oh, I'm tired.
Right.
Perfect. Fantastic.
Right.
I want that power right now. That's all I need.
So she's separated from them. She's upset about not seeing her daughter the entire time. Klaus is drug addicted because he numbs his feelings so that way he doesn't have to see the dead.
Yeah, he communicates with dead people,
right.
and not in a fun way, apparently.
No.
He doesn't control when they show up, or he couldn't control when they showed up when he was little, so they just kept invading his space and freaking him out. Right. So he got hooked on drugs.
Yes, he did.
And you'll recognize him from Misfits.
He's from Misfits.
Which is a great comic book superhero show. Yeah, he's fantastic.
He's great in both shows.
In both shows.
Yeah. Number 5 can, obviously, he could travel through time, but that, like, mostly he just, like...
Portal jumps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Teleports.
Oh, yeah, when he comes back from the future, back in the future, he goes back into his 13-year-old body, even though he's really, so he's like a 60-year-old man stuck in prepubescent body.
So the entire time he's a cranky old man, and it's hilarious. Yeah. He's a cranky old man stuck in a kid's body.
Great actor for that. He pulls it off fantastically.
He does a great job. And then Ben, who died, but Klaus could see because he sees dead people.
So he hangs out. For some reason, even though he's on drugs a lot, he can still see Ben.
Right.
He's kind of hanging around him all the time.
Ben can get through. Yeah. But Ben had the power of, like, octopus hand thing, squid.
He could summon creatures from other dimensions.
Oh, that's why he's called the Kraken.
No, the Kraken is...
Who's the Kraken?
Diego. They call him the Kraken. Because in the comics, he can hold his breath indefinitely. And he can throw knives.
I feel like Kraken should be Ben. Just saying.
He's called the Horror because you don't know. He can summon multiple creatures, but the one he chooses most is the 8-armed tentacle creature.
Got it.
But I guess he can summon creatures from other dimensions.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I wish he hadn't died because that would be a cool power. Maybe he's too powerful at that point.
Maybe.
Like he'd be too easy. I mean, that's a pretty go-to power to kill a bunch of people at once.
Right.
You just summon something insane.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Vanya doesn't have any powers, but she's a really good violinist.
Mm-hmm.
She's basically like mediocre at everything.
Mm-hmm.
But she really wants to be number one.
Pretty good at the violin. She's still not head chair good.
Right. So they all get together after the dad dies. Luther insists someone killed their father.
Yeah, he comes back from the moon.
Right.
For the funeral.
For the funeral.
He's been stuck there for 4 years, and he's like, something's up.
Something's up.
Yeah.
And then number 5 is trying to get the apocalypse not to happen. So there's like little things here and there. And they find out the dad actually killed himself because he wanted them to come together because he knew the apocalypse was going to happen. Somehow. And then Vanya gets into a relationship with this dude who's creepy as fuck. And you find out that he was born on the same day also, but it was like a planned pregnancy.
Normal birth.
Right.
But his mom died. So his dad became a drunk and very abusive.
Right. He was very insistent that he was powers. Special. Like,
he wanted to get out of his house. He's like, you got to take me. I was born on the same day.
Right.
And the dad was like, or what's his name?
Hargreaves.
The monocle, as they call him.
Yeah.
Hargreaves is like, you have no powers. Just get used
out
to
of
it.
here.
You're normal and crazy. Get away.
And then, so he, like, manipulates Vanya because, like, she has been told, like, she's not special her entire life. And so, like, he manipulates her. He, like, gets her off her anxiety medicines. And then she starts to develop powers. And then you find out she is the strongest one of all of them. And he was trying to hide the fact.
Yeah, he found out from the very... I mean, it's kind of like the Phoenix from X-Men.
Right.
He knew the entire time. She had all this power, so he was keeping her subdued and took these pills. And then it turns out he made her sister say, I heard a rumor that you're just normal and you have no powers.
Right.
So she didn't remember any of that ever happening. So she grew up thinking she was normal and she was alienated from the rest of her family, kind of this...
Right.
You know,
outsider.
She couldn't participate in everything they were doing. She felt like an outsider, so she just kind of stuck to the violin.
Right.
And that was it.
So all these events happened, and basically, Vanya's the one that causes the apocalypse. So they kill the guy Peabody, Leonard Peabody.
Mm-hmm. Thinking it's going to
real name
Harold
Jenkins.
Old One-Eyed Jenkins.
Old One-Eyed Jenkins, who killed his father.
Yeah.
And was in prison, and then let out, and he became Leonard Peabody.
Mm-hmm.
They find out that Harold Jenkins has to stay alive in order for the apocalypse to happen. So Vanya doesn't know she kills him anyway because she finds out he's manipulating her.
Yeah.
Like, just how everyone else was manipulating her. And everyone, like, Luther throws her in a cage because he doesn't know what to do with her. Not a cage, like a vault.
A vault, yeah. A soundproof vault.
Soundproof vault.
She gets her powers from sound waves, by the way.
Yes, she does.
So it's like a soundproof vault.
Right.
You can't hear anything.
No.
But she does.
She hears our heartbeat.
Yeah.
She manipulates her heartbeat into busting open, and then she fully becomes, not the Phoenix, but I guess the white violin.
The white violin, yeah.
Right. And so she goes to play her whatever, and she's like crazy. She's got crazy powers now. She's first chair. She's playing her whatever, and they have to go subdue her.
Not before she thinks she slits the throat of her sister with the violin bow. That's a pretty shocking moment.
That's a big shocking moment, but she's okay.
She's
but
okay.
Now Allison can't talk.
She can't talk and do that. But when that moment hit, I was kind of like, damn.
I know.
She gonna die? That was.
I know.
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
like,
intense.
Gonna go back in time and get her.
So that was kind of intense.
So Allison's okay.
She's okay. She just can't do her powers anymore.
Right. So they go to stop Vanya, and in doing so, cause the apocalypse.
Whoops, we did it.
Whoops. And then number 5 has an idea that they're going to go back in time, help Vanya get control of her powers, and stop the apocalypse from happening.
Mm-hmm.
So at the very end, you see them all, like, disappear, turn into kids and disappear, like how 5 did in the beginning.
Yeah. So are they going to be kids next season?
I don't know.
It'll be interesting.
You think maybe it'll be, like, half kids, half.
You think half of them are going to change?
No, I meant like
storyline.
You'll see them as kids and then they'll go back.
Maybe.
Because there's no way they're not going to have the whole cast not be there for the second season.
You mean everyone who was there in the first?
Yeah.
Even Ben back alive? I think number...
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But that's how it ends. There's little things that happen here and there throughout the show. We won't tell. We're trying to keep our overview short here.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of stuff happened that we didn't mention.
If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you watch it.
It is a very fun show.
It's very
fun. It gets you into it. It's an interesting storyline for sure.
Yeah, for sure. The story gets you. Like, you want to know more as you're watching it.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's a little too, like, some episodes are a little too long. I feel like they could have got away with 8 episodes.
I read some things that people, when they first came out, they loved the concept. They loved the idea and the characters. The timing and the episodes were kind of criticized because it did feel a little like...
There's a couple episodes where I was watching, I was like, am I still watching the same episode?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot in it.
Well, and if we normally talk about favorite episode, I can't even pick it out because they all blend together so much. And it does feel kind of...
They do.
It feels slow at times, and that's a weakness for sure. But the story itself is a great story.
No, the story is a great story.
And they did deviate from the comic book, so they had to add some stuff. Actually, in the comic book, the Apocalypse Suite, which this is based on, Cha-Cha and Hazel aren't even in that storyline.
Oh, okay.
So that probably would have sped it up a little more.
Yeah.
They could have made that like...
They could have, because I think I read something where Cha-Cha and Hazel were still minor characters in the comic book.
Yeah.
So they could have just... I know they fleshed it out, but they fleshed them out like way too much.
Way too much. I think that was
like Hazel has a relationship with the donut lady. Like, do we really need to see this?
They like birds.
I know.
It's like, all right, I get it. And in the comic book, the original Apocalypse Suite, actually, the Apocalypse Suite is a song they're going to play. The villain is the conductor, and he has to get them to play this song, and that's what's going to end the world.
That was interesting.
It's interesting.
If they flip flopped it.
But yeah, the pacing was a little slow at times.
It was a little slow. Like, they didn't have to do 10 episodes. Like, they could have done 8.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping, when I was looking at the episodes, I'm like, oh, there's 10 of these?
I think 8 is a fair number.
Yeah. It's better than a movie.
Yeah.
So 8 episodes still would give you more time to develop things. You don't have to go to 10.
No.
I think it would have been fine.
Yeah. I think that's just network people being greedy.
Mm-hmm.
No, make it 10.
Make it 10. But... I will say from all the shows we've watched, it was kind of fast-paced, fun.
Yeah.
Kind of let yourself go, not too serious.
Did have a little bit of teen dramas here.
I was going to say that I think if I were 17 and I was watching this, I'd be like, this show is amazing. It's one of the greatest shows ever. It's still pretty good.
It's good.
I don't like it as much as my 17-year-old self would have liked it, but it's still really good. So
it's good, yeah.
A little bit of drama, a little bit of... All right, I'll overlook that little plot thing a little bit just because it's a fun show to watch. But I enjoyed it, yeah.
No, I liked it a lot. Number 5 was fantastic.
Breakout
star in the whole show.
Yeah, I don't know what else that the actor has been in or what he's going to be in, but I don't know if it would have done as well if they would have cast that role differently.
They did a great job.
I will say I think Ellen Page could have been recast. I don't think she added that much to it.
I don't think that it's her fault. I think that it was maybe a directorial choice because she's a great actress, and I've seen her in lots of movies that she's great in, and I feel like she just wasn't utilized correctly. Like, I felt like they were like, no, just don't do anything.
Be muted, which makes sense, I guess, in the beginning. She's on these pills. Maybe it's like she's just this muted person.
Right, but she could have, like, been more livelier when she got off or something. It's just, I felt like it wasn't, I don't think it was her choice. I felt like it was a directorial choice.
It could have been. I just think it was, well, maybe she was wasted in the role then. I didn't like her performance.
Right, yeah.
Mary J. Blige also, if I had 2 casting choices where I'm like, it was interesting to see her. She's not the best actress. You have to admit that. Because that's not what she does.
Right.
So some of her stuff felt a little dry and a little flat at some point, like forced. Mm-hmm. And I think it kind of played off with Hazel's character. You could see in some of his scenes with her, even he kind of picked that up. He was better when he wasn't with her.
Right.
He seemed to be his acting was a little bit better. But she wasn't bad, like really bad. It's just, it was a little flat and it was okay, you're Mary J. Blige.
Right.
I'll give it to you. I'm not going to judge you that harshly on the acting. But her action scenes are pretty good. She got pretty...
No, she has very good action scenes.
She has stunt doubles for some things, but she got in there pretty good.
She should just, be like, what's-her-face from Resident Evil?
Mila
Kukovic.
Yeah.
And just be like, "What's up, suckers?" And like, bye, 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 bye. That's Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige, the new Terminator.
Pow, 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 pow. So, do you have any pet peeves in the show?
No, I don't have any pet peeves, I don't think. I really enjoyed it, other than, like, some scenes went on too long. And, like, no, I liked it.
I have a couple pet peeves. They're not that big of a deal. So, my biggest thing is they never explained it in the show, and maybe it's explained in the comic book, but whenever Cha-Cha and Hazel attack the Academy, Hazel gets in a fight with Luther, and...
Oh, yeah, Hazel's as strong as Luther is.
How?
I don't know.
And then also in that scene, they're getting shot in the face with those masks. He gets hit with a knife. And then later on in the hotel room, they're like rubber masks. They just bring up and down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like
it
special
activates
or something.
somehow.
I don't know. They didn't talk about it.
And I think that's why I don't think they should have been in the first season, because it's like... Also, Diego misses with a knife when he throws it at them that entire time. Like, he doesn't hit them with the knives. I thought his whole superpower
was that he can manipulate the knife throwing.
Hit to about anything. So that was a little bothersome to me. Like, I know the guy is a big guy.
I feel like you're being nitpicky
now. Not whenever your whole superpower is super strength and you can't beat a fat guy.
I mean,
in a fight.
Maybe it's the monkey serum changed it.
I don't know. That part bothered me. Like, it seemed anticlimactic.
We didn't talk about that Luther is Dickon from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. He's Dickon. Dickon's back, baby.
Dickon's back.
And he's got an
better than ever.
That was nice to see.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked to see him stay around longer.
Yeah, more than 2 episodes.
More than 2 episodes. So that was nice.
That is being super nitpicky, I guess. But I think it's just kind of whenever, as a kid, before he got the 8 body, he threw like 3 people through windows across the room, and then he gets an 8 body with even more strength, I'm assuming, and he can't take on this guy who's...
Maybe Hazel's like extraordinarily strong, I don't know.
But he has to wear a wrist guard from carrying a briefcase the whole time? I don't know. I had a problem with that.
Dang.
You can't make them these superheroes, and then he can't beat this guy in a fist fight.
Well,
I don't know. And then
that's the problem with them having them in there for that long, though. Hazel and Cha-Cha.
Yeah, that's why I don't think they should have. It would have made it a shorter series.
It would have.
I don't know how they would have tied it into the time travel thing.
Really, do we care about them at all? I don't care.
No, they were totally.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
I'm more invested in the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
And Vanya.
The only other thing that I'm going to say, and just time probably wouldn't allow. There are no other people with powers that have been mentioned in this. Of all the people born on the same day,
he got the
only 7 that had powers, and not one of them is robbing banks and becoming a supervillain at this point, which maybe is going to happen in the next one.
Maybe it'll happen.
But I heard the next series, the next comic series, not the TV show, was called Dallas, and it's all about trying to stop 5 from assassinating Kennedy. So that next comic book series had nothing to do with people in the future having powers. I'm just confused as to where these other people are and what's going on.
I don't know.
That's the only thing.
Maybe they'll touch on it.
That's my concerns. That's all I have.
I don't know.
I mean, it's so much better than Big Little Lies. I mean, so much better.
So much better. So much better than Big Little Lies. We're not going to talk about that show.
Okay. Shh. That was the last one. Last time we ever mentioned it.
I did like the... you didn't really get like an intro.
Yeah, the way they incorporated the intro was cool.
So basically, like, they would give you, like, some information, and then they would just have the title pop up somewhere.
Somewhere with an umbrella.
Right.
There was always an umbrella, and it had the Umbrella Academy. Right. So it was, like, the bottom of a bowl at one time, a lawyer billboard for a law agency.
Right.
An actual umbrella. Right. It was cool. That was an interesting way to do it. I liked that a lot.
No, I liked it a lot, too.
It was cool.
So there was no intro.
There was no theme song, I guess, technically.
No. And I liked how they put backstory within the story. Like, they did a very good job explaining... This is what happened in the past. This is why it's affecting the present. Like, they did a good job intercutting. Like,
yeah, editing wise and the story, that part of the flow worked. It's just some storylines went on too long.
The ending was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, they just all disappear.
Did the ending not prove that you can't change an event? Because they did 3 things differently than what they thought they were going to do, and apocalypse
happened. I don't know.
Like, had she just blown up and they didn't have that laser beam towards the moon.
Right.
Will the Earth have been saved?
I guess. I think maybe they'll just try it again. Maybe they'll teach Vanya how to use her powers, go back, see if that fixes everything. I still feel like they still want to make sure nothing
happens to the Earth.
Happens to the Earth.
Well, that's what they said. We can go back and we can change it.
Right.
We can fix it.
We can fix it. I'm very interested to see how season 2 starts off, or is in general.
Yeah.
Like, that's interesting. Also, Klaus is one of my favorite characters, I think.
He's really good.
He's fantastic, and I like that him and Ben interact, and then at the end, they both use their powers, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, he's able to bring him into the plane of existence even though he's dead, so his powers can come through. Yeah. Which is a cool trick to use. It is. Because when he said you haven't reached, he has a flashback. He talks to his dead father.
Well, I think he kind of died. I think he went to limbo.
Yeah.
He kind of died, and he saw his dad, and his dad was like, you haven't reached your full potential yet.
What else? What does that mean? What else can I do? I was like, he's going to be able to actually bring people back from the dead.
Right.
But this is kind of that.
It's kind of like that,
that, which is cool.
Lastly, I really like the music. The music was fantastic.
Fantastic music choices and the way they implement the music throughout the show.
I think my favorite was when they're in the donut shop, when they utilized Constantinople.
Yeah.
And they're fighting. It was really good.
Jumpy, catchy tune.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Basically, every time there's a fight scene, there's a fantastic song.
Yeah, there's a lot of good songs, and kind of sometimes juxtapositioning to what's actually going on in the scene, and it's all goes back to John Woo and Face Off. Somewhere over the rainbow. Yeah. During the gun battle scene.
My God. Yeah, he influenced everything.
Yeah. No, but the music choice was great, and I know that Gerard Way was co-executive producer on the show. I don't know what all influence he had.
Maybe it was on music.
Yeah, but there were a lot of good musical choices in this one.
I'm surprised there was no My Chemical Romance in there. A little nod.
He's probably so sick of that. He's like, nope, that's not even me. I'm a comic book guy. He's written for DC, Marvel, Dark Horse.
Dang.
And I think another one too. So.
Dang. So do you have any favorite episodes?
I don't have any favorite episodes. I do love it whenever Luther gets drunk and goes to the rave.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
And Klaus has to fight he's stopped taking drugs, and he goes to the one place where he wants to take drugs.
Yeah.
It's a rave.
Yeah.
That's a really good, that whole episode, that's when he also sees his father after he's in limbo area. I think that's really good.
I think maybe I like the last couple because it gets into like Vanya's powers, and I'm very invested in it. Like, I want to know more about her powers and like.
It does, yeah.
And like how she's gonna use it and stuff, how the apocalypse is gonna happen. So, I think the last couple are like really interesting.
I think I like when Klaus comes back after he time travels and comes back from Vietnam. Like that whole story arc, I think is when his character becomes a little more interesting. That's when he starts to become sober. And that's all. I guess the back half is more interesting. Yeah. Unless they had more about them as children. Like, I think I would be very interested to see the training. That's kind of cool.
I'm assuming they'll still keep doing that in the next season. Like, when they refer to something, we'll actually see. Because what's clever about this is that they refer to something and they don't go back to it like immediately. Right. They'll touch on it maybe like next episode, which that's what I like. Yeah. What would you rate it? What's the bingeability?
Bingeability on this one, I'm going to say 4.5.
I said the same thing.
What? Yeah, 4.5. It's not. It's really high up there. Yeah. And not a 5, but pretty close.
Honestly, if they would have had 8 episodes and it was like tighter, I would have gave it a 5.
I probably would have gone all the way through one setting, completely through the entire show. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then plus they were only 40-minute shows, so that it did move. I mean, the episodes were shorter.
Right. So 8. But there were some episodes that felt like they were on like an hour.
They did feel much longer. Yeah. Some of them felt shorter because there was a little more action in them. Right. So I think you're right. If it was about an 8-episode run, I think it may have gotten a 5. May have gotten my coveted 5.
The coveted Adam 5.
Bingeability, but a 4.5.
I'm surprised you gave it 4.5.
I love superhero action shows. So, and especially ensemble. I like the ensemble.
If the ensemble's done correctly, it's really good. Yeah. It has the Guardian Galaxy effect to it, which I think this one does. So that leads us into. Oh wait, did you have a question for me?
Hey, Amanda, I got a question for you.
Oh, you do you?
I think it's time to stump Amanda.
Oh no!
All right. So, It's a two-parter.
Okay.
If you had the abilities of Klaus,
Ooh.
and you had to have somebody, some deceased person, to be able to, what is the word he uses whenever he actually lets them come into this plane physically, where he can actually do things?
Oh God, I don't know.
Whatever.
If I wanted to bring them into the plane,
into
but
the
they're
plane,
still dead.
but they're still dead,
Right,
for short periods of time.
Right.
Who would you choose to be the person, like, to get you out of jams?
To get me out of jams?
Like, who could actually move stuff? To go Patrick Swayze in Ghost, where he could actually move things.
Ooh.
Who would be the person?
To help me out?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fictional or real life?
I'd say real life, not fictional, because then that's too many fictional possibilities. Let's go real life.
Dang. Okay. Like, anyone? Or
anyone. Anyone who's dead. Like Alexander the Great. You could go, I don't know, Charles Bronson from Death Wish. Maybe he could help you out. Nikola Tesla.
Like, how do you pick, like, real people who have, like...
All right, I'll change it up then. If you could just pick anybody that to act like Ben does whenever he can't physically appear, just to hang out with, who's there to talk to, who would you pick?
I keep thinking of my grandfather.
That'd be cool.
Because my grandfather would do mischievous stuff.
Yeah.
But also I can hang out with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he would definitely get me out of jail. 100%.
Oh, he'd break you out?
Yeah. He'd be like, I got this.
Kid, we're out of here.
Yes. He'd be like, don't worry. I'm going to go get the keys from the guy down there.
I'm going to make him float down the hallway. It'll be hilarious.
Because, you know, he was Sicilian, so, like, he knows things.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, the only person I know who would like me enough to get me out of things would be my grandfather.
That's a good choice.
So who would you pick?
I'd pick Robin Williams. It'd be like the genie.
Because he'd be funny?
Like the genie's talking to me all the time.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Or if I need somebody to physically be here, Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Go around and kick some ass and then just disappear. Yeah.
Dang.
It'd be like the movie Blackbeard's Ghost. Have you seen the old Disney movie Blackbeard's Ghost?
No.
Has anybody seen that? Comment if you have.
Comment if you have, and maybe you'll get a special surprise.
One of my favorite movies as a kid. But in the movie Blackbeard's Ghost, it has the actor who played in Herbie the Love Bug. If you've seen Herbie the Love Bug.
Oh, yeah.
The main actor, the race car driver. He's in it. Anyway. It's about Blackbeard, and he's a ghost. But he can physically do things. So in the whole show, the comic shtick is, goes to a casino, and he's like moving the roulette ball to the right spot.
Right. That would definitely be my grandfather.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to go on black for sure.
I would definitely go gamble with him.
Yes, that'd
100%.
be, that's what I would do. That's great. Wheel of Fortune, they're just like turn the wheel to the right spot.
Yeah.
Peeking behind and looking at the letters.
Yeah. I'll go on Price is Right. He'd love that show.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
We're going to rig everything.
We're going to win it all.
We're going to rig it all.
But Blackbeard's Ghost, the whole thing is he helps a college team win a sporting event because to save the college. Blackbeard's Ghost.
To save his like treasure or something?
He gets his treasure back. It's a complicated. It's a Disney movie, you know, Google it. But you get to see shot puts like dance across whenever he throws it. So he helps this loser college team win.
Okay.
It's funny. Anyway.
Obviously Ghost ripped off that movie.
Oh yeah,
right?
Blackbeard's Ghost is
So
they didn't even use the whole name. They're just like, we're just gonna call it Ghost.
Yeah.
We're gonna cast Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
So that was my stuff, man. I like your answer. Your answer's a little better than mine.
Although Robin Williams is
I mean, you'd never get bored.
You never get bored, but would it be annoying?
Yeah, I know. You couldn't shut him off.
You'd be like, Robin, I need a nap, please.
Nope. Good morning, Adam.
So that leads us to who would win? Who would win? Again, one person versus another person. So Richard Sheehan has played two superhero people. Who would win? Nathan from Misfits, who can't die, or Klaus, who sees the dead, which are very similar, I would have to say.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So which version of Richard Sheehan would win?
Tough one, because in an Umbrella Academy, he can summon Ben to help him.
Right.
But you can't kill.
You can't kill Nathan.
His character.
You have to cut his head off.
Although that would be pretty easy. You can cut his head off.
Right.
If you just be able to do that, he would be,
right.
Dead. Now, if you're talking about who I like more, I would go for the Misfits.
You go for the Misfits version?
Because he's hilarious in that. He's still funny in this. That character. Although the Umbrella Academy, he's more redeemable. He has more redeeming qualities, I think.
Nathan is definitely much more of an asshole.
Yeah, just a prick all around.
I don't know who would win. I think this is a hard one because, like, even if you killed Nathan, he would still be there with Klaus.
I think ultimately Klaus would win because you could get Nathan's head off somehow, even in an accident.
Okay, but, like, if you killed Nathan, he could still haunt Klaus.
Oh, so Nathan would eventually win.
That's what
he
I'm
would
saying.
just leave him alone. I think you're right.
Right? Because Nathan is so annoying that he would just keep annoying Klaus.
Mm-hmm. He would intentionally, So
yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think Nathan would win.
I think Nathan would win just because he's so annoying.
Ultimately, he would win. Maybe not in the way he wants to, but
right.
he would ultimately come out as a winner.
Right. Definitely. Klaus would get the first, but I think Nathan would win in the end.
Yeah. But it would be hilarious.
It would. I would love to see this happen. If Netflix can make a funny little short,
that'd be
Nathan
great.
versus Klaus, that'd be great. Please make that happen. 100% down for that. So, Adam, what's happening next week?
Oh, next week we're going to binge the second season of Sabrina.
I think it's the first season, part 2.
Okay. It's had a gap. I call it season 2. That makes no sense.
Season 1, part 2.
That's stupid.
It's because it wants to be like regular TV and have 26 episodes, but they split it.
Did time pass in between them shooting part 1 and part 2?
I don't know.
And then it's season 2.
I don't know if time passed.
We're going to watch Sabrina season 1, part 2.
Part 2. Electric Boogaloo.
So we watched the first season, and now it's on to the second. She's gone to a little darker phase of her life.
She is now signed the Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
She is full Satan at this point. She gave her soul to Satan. Full on.
Satan better watch his back.
I don't know how this is going to go.
I think she's got an agenda on her mind.
You
she's
think
like,
she's...
She's a double, triple agent.
She's a double, triple agent?
Yeah. Which makes her a single agent, so never mind. Yeah.
I feel like she's going to cause a lot of mischief. If you listen to our part 1 podcast, we talk about, at the end, we talk about predictions.
Oh, yeah, we need to go back and listen and see who was right. See who was right and who was wrong.
What would happen? So we're doing that next week as part of our comic month. So get ready. Sabrina part 2. I think part 2 Sabrina is emo Sabrina.
I can see that. They've teased that in what I saw.
Right.
I think I like wearing black or something like that. So yeah, she's emo Sabrina.
Sabrina's gone emo.
Sabrimo.
And on that note, thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share. If you want to leave us a comment about how emo Sabrina's going to get, or if you think that she's going to kill a lot of people, maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. What's your predictions? Also, who's your favorite character on the Umbrella Academy? Do you like the comic book better, or do you like the show?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. I don't know your feelings. We will see you bingers next week. Bye.
Bye.